How much strength training and cardio should we be doing? Now, the answer to that might seem quite elusive. And while our goals is an important consideration in helping us decide, it's not the only basis that we have to consider. Now, when I think of goals, the top three goals that pop into my mind are overall health and longevity, losing body fat, and building muscle. Now, all of us should have the goal of improving our overall health and potential longevity. And when it comes to losing body fat and building muscle, most of us would like to do both. But based on our current body composition, our focus will probably be a little bit more on one than the other. Which brings us to the second consideration, body composition. Now, if you tend to gain body fat easily, then you're going to want to schedule in a little bit more cardio than the guy who is naturally lean and trying to add some muscle to his frame. Now, this word cardio tends to conjure up all kinds of different images in people's minds, and I think most people tend to think of spending hours and hours on the treadmill. But if we're doing it right, we're doing cardio all day long. Humans are designed to move. We're not like a koala bear or a sloth. We can't just plant ourselves in a tree and munch on leaves all day. We're meant to work the land, grow and hunt our own food. Now, because of many of the modern day conveniences that we have today, much of our need to move is gone, but it doesn't change how we're designed. And this is what I mean by doing cardio all day long. They call it non-exercise physical activity, or NEPA for short. It's yard work, shoveling snow, or walking to the mailbox. You know those few spots that they have for parking right by the grocery store door? They're reserved for the handicap. And then you have those spots that are right beside them. Now, they're not reserved for anybody, but the people who always park in those spots are the ones that are going to eventually need the handicap spots. The real prime parking is back in the far corner of the lot. You get a good walk-in, and you don't have to worry about some guy parking next to you and dinging his car door into yours. Now, we all need to do a certain amount of this activity. It's low impact, burns calories, doesn't sacrifice muscle mass, and it's easy to recover from. The more of this type of activity we do, the less time we need to spend on the treadmill. Everything we've talked about so far isn't structured training, but it all counts. When it comes to longevity and health, the recommendation is we spend at least 150 minutes a week on moderate activity or 75 minutes a week on vigorous activity, and this should include at least 2 days of full body strength training. So we should all be working toward that, irregardless of what our other goals may be. Now, once we're able to achieve this, then we can adjust our focus toward our other goals. And this is where we need to add into our next consideration, and that is time. For example, if your goal is to build more muscle, you may want to spend more time than 2 days a week on strength training. And as you're able to train more intensely, you'll need more time for recovery. And the same is true when it comes to cardiovascular exercise. So if you're short on time, then HIIT training is the way to go, as you'll get the most bang for your buck when the clock is ticking. It's not unusual for people to go to the gym and do their cardio and weight training at the same time. Now, if you're going to do a particularly intense cardio session, then I would recommend you allow some time in between for recovery. But if you have to do your cardio and weight training at the same time, then this is what I would recommend. That at first you spend 10 minutes doing light cardio just to warm up your body. It doesn't matter what piece of equipment you use, whether you want to use a Stairmaster or a treadmill or the exercise bike. You're just warming up your body, preparing for the workout. Then you do your strength training. And then it's after that you do your hard cardio. So then you do 15 or 20 minutes a HIIT, or maybe you do some moderate intensity steady state cardio, depending on your energy level. But the reason why you don't do intense cardio before your strength training is if you get too tired, then you're more apt to use poor form and you run the risk of injury. And let's face it, if you get injured, how can you keep working out while having fun? This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you in the next one.